Friend, let us have a heart to heart about a generational lie, a lie that we have been told forever that says that blood is thicker than our boundaries. We have been taught to tolerate things at the expense of people who share our names, last names, and our DNA. And it has served us nothing. It has served us no purpose. But today, let's talk about the cost of that. Let's talk about the fact that it's not being mean when you are protecting your peace. It's called living in divine alignment. See, it's finally time for us to glow forward in a space where even if you walk this path, you are okay knowing that sometimes you'll walk without the people who raised you. See, growth means that sometimes you have to leave certain people at the door, even if it's kin. Let's get into this. I want to tell you about my wedding. I planned my wedding from this vision that I had, my husband and I. It's a shared vision. And I knew what the day would be like. I knew what it would feel like. Hell, I knew what it would taste like. All the food, it was so good. And I saw my family being there with me. But on the day of my wedding, there were some empty seats. Some people were missing. Not necessarily literally empty seats because I knew they weren't coming before the day, but there were spaces for the people who weren't there. And it wasn't because there was a lack of love there. It was because there was a presence of boundaries there. It was because that I had to protect my peace. I had to protect the sanctity of my day. I had to protect this thing that we'd worked so hard to curate, to pay for, to invest in. I had to protect that, and it meant more than allowing people who had disrespected my boundaries to show up for me. And that was hurtful. It definitely was hurtful. It felt mean in a sense that people would choose to violate my boundaries before they chose to show up in love for me. And that was a hard pill to swallow, experiencing that day without them. But as I looked at this altar that we had built, an ancestor altar on this piano in our reception space, and I looked at all the people who had been here before me, who had loved and lost and sacrificed so that I could have this day, so that I could be in love in this way. I said to myself, these people did not do all of this for me to be a doormat for anyone. They did not work as hard as they did to make their lives as grand as they were so that I could have the opportunities that I had for me to take BS from anyone. And so although the day was hurtful, I stood 10 toes down on my boundaries. I stood 10 toes down because people had violated my peace and my spirit and my boundaries, and I wasn't about to have them violate my love. And so they weren't there. And that was a part of my wedding day story. It lives amongst the fun and the joy and the happiness and the tears and all of the beautiful things that we experienced that day. This piece lives as a part of it. And I share that story because sometimes we fear the fallout we fear falling out with family. Sometimes it is so big for us that we shrink ourselves, that we take BS from people, that we allow people to violate us. When I think about having family violate this boundary at the cost of bloodline, I think about this thing that I tell people, if you come to my house once and you don't take off your shoes because I didn't tell you to take off your shoes, I can't be mad at you. I can only be mad at myself because this is your first time visiting me and you have no idea of my rule, right? You have no idea of my boundary. Now, if you come to my house and I say, oh, we don't wear shoes in here, take your shoes off, which we don't, right? Do not wear shoes in the house. and you don't take off your shoes and you just decide that you're still going to walk in my house even after you heard what I said, I've got two options. One, you got to leave, and we could try this again another time when you feel like respecting the boundary. Or two, you got to leave and you can't get invited back. It's just that simple. So if you are in a space where you feel like if you set your boundary up, if you stand 10 toes down, people will stop talking to you, whether it's a parent or aunt, uncle, grandparent, whoever, you feel like, oh my God, they're going to retaliate. Think about the fact that when you put a boundary in place, the people who throw the most fits, the ones who have the most issues with your boundaries, are the people who benefited from you not having boundaries in the first place. Like, how dare you be upset with me because I am trying to protect my peace? Where do you get off in that? How do you win in that? You don't. So that it doesn't make it any easier to navigate when you've got to tell friends they can't do something or tell family they can't come to your wedding. It doesn't make it easier. I've fallen out with family members. Family members have stopped talking to me. I still have family members that don't talk to me, and I don't even know why. I have no idea what happened, and I've stopped trying to rack my brain around it. Because what I recognize is that when you are elevating, everybody can't come with you. And sometimes the people who can't come with you are your people. Doesn't mean that we're not family. The family tie is there. The bloodline is there, it's present. And it doesn't mean that it's forever. Just because you haven't talked to me in 5-10 years doesn't mean that it's going to be the next 50 years. Maybe things will change in the future. I don't know. But I keep hope if I want the relationship, or I chalk it up to the fact that this is the family that I came in here with. There's nothing I can do about it. It doesn't make any sense to worry and stress yourself. But when you allow people, especially your people, to violate your boundaries, what you're doing is setting yourself up to experience self-betrayal, shame, and guilt. And the work that you have to do to navigate those shadows is so much more heavy than letting people not talk, not speak with you. The work that you have to do to build yourself back up after you've betrayed yourself is, in my opinion, way more challenging than it is to build a relationship with someone who stops talking to you because you put a boundary in place. But you can weigh those options for yourself. The thing is that you have options. And if you feel fear from a family fallout, feel the fear. And then take acknowledgement of your options and choose differently. When we stand 10 toes down, when we practice having firm boundaries, it is going to look like people being mad. It comes with the territory. I mean, my family was pissed off at me. I think my mom probably couldn't believe it. She was like, this girl has lost her ever-loving mind. I am the eldest child. I am the daughter. I was the golden child, right? I did everything that everybody wanted me to do. Everything that they told me to do, I did it. I was the good kid. You know how it is. If you're an eldest child, if you're an oldest daughter or whatever, you know what I'm talking about. But it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, I am self-sacrificing. I am just doing things for everyone, and it doesn't feel good to me. I get the short end of the stick every time. So when it came to my wedding day, this experience that we curated, I literally planned every detail that we paid for. I was not letting blood be thicker than boundaries. There was no way I was doing that. And anybody who asked me to do that, I tagged them as somebody to be careful for, to watch out for. Because if you heard me say that they violated my boundaries, then please respect that I don't want to be violated anymore. And it worked out. The wedding was beautiful. We had a great time. And after a few years, I reconnected with those family members and we talked through it. And we were both sad that, they weren't present for the day, but we chalked it up to it is what it is. Doesn't mean that I don't stand 10 toes down on my boundaries though. And I think that lesson at such a big monumentous day was proof to my family that she's not playing. That girl is protecting her peace over there. And I was proud of myself for that. I was literally like beaming because I didn't think that I would ever do anything like that to my family. No, right? But what would that have showed me about my self-worth if I allowed society who says it's only one day, let them come, and family who says you're tripping, that's your fill in the blank with the title? What would that have said to me? That I am unworthy of protecting myself, that I have no say when it comes to my boundaries. And I was not about to let that messaging be true. I don't think you should either. What we are doing in this space, what I'm doing with this video is, again, calling out this generational lie. Blood is not thicker than your boundaries. You can go outside today and experience someone that you've never met before, complete stranger, and they feel like family more than your blood. It happens to me all the time. It's so insane. We are living in a world where we get to find chosen people and make them our family. From the internet to networking meetups to videos online, you get to just find your people. I am creating more of an intentional space at my retreat in Thailand. This is a space where people are coming to find and be amongst their chosen family. Like complete strangers, and in 7 days, you feel so connected that you're like, wow, this feels like my cousin. You like my auntie. That is what we're building. That is what I am putting together this year in July. Because like you, I have had the experience of having to protect myself against my own family, having to stand up for myself, having to tell them not gonna happen. I have had to fall out with people, get cursed out, go no contact. I've done it all. And I'm fine. I'm still here, still standing, feeling lovely, might I add. Does it suck? Yes. Does it hurt? Absolutely. I'm not a robot. I'm human. You are human. So yes, expect the grief that comes with the loss of a relationship, but do not sit there and make yourself feel like you're wrong for protecting your boundaries. That is of utmost importance, because if you don't protect yourself, you are teaching the world that they don't have to protect you either. So if you're looking for some chosen family members, think about the retreat. Glow Forward is coming up, and I would love to have you there if you feel like you have had to distance yourself from everybody else to protect yourself. Come to a space where you don't have to have that armor of protection on. A space where you can just be and people will accept you as you are. I want to ask this reflection question. I want you to sit with this one today. What is one thing you're allowing a family member to do right now, that you would never allow a stranger to do? What's one thing? Drop it in the comments. I would love to read and love on you in the comments, because I know the pain and sometimes the stress and the overwhelm that comes with just allowing people to treat you any old way. I know what that feels like. And I've been through it. I've gotten through it. I have tools to share. So I would love to hold space for you if you feel comfortable enough to share. I want to leave you with this homework before we end today's video. Take a stock of the people in your life that are family members. The ones that you have done everything for, showed up for, held space for. Take a stock of all these people and ask yourself, truthfully, who doesn't belong? Who in the list does not belong? Don't have to do anything else but become aware and acknowledge this truth. Make your list, reflect on it, right? Pause and reflect. You don't have to shift. You don't have to pivot. You have nothing else to do but just sit with it and be honest with yourself. Because once you get that list started and you truthfully outline the people that don't fit, things start to happen on their own. Sometimes you don't have to do any of the work. The universe and God will support you. I hope that this video affirmed for you that you deserve to protect your boundaries, even if it's against your family. You deserve to prioritize your peace, even if it looks like falling out with your people. I'm so grateful that you watched this video. Let me know in the comments what's one thing that you're allowing that family member to do. And if you want to share anything else, I read every comment and I would love to respond to you. I'll see you tomorrow for day 16. Peace.